Hey guys, Christian here from publishinglife.com, and in today's video I want to talk specifically just about audiobooks. And the reason I want to talk about this is because I know there are a ton of self-publishers out there right now who have been self-publishing for a year, 2 years, 3 years, maybe even 5 years or longer, who still are not utilizing audiobooks for their publishing businesses. And it makes no sense whatsoever to me. Maybe it's because you don't know any better, and that's exactly what this video is for. With that said, this video is not so much for complete beginners to self-publishing, audiobook publishing, and all that good stuff. If you are a complete beginner but wants to make money with Amazon and all that good stuff, click the first link in the description down below where you can register for our upcoming webinar. That'll give you a much better idea of how to get started and make money more than this video will, because this video is going to be for people who are already self-publishers who have books live on Amazon and on different platforms. First, I want to address some of the reasons that I know some people might not be using audiobooks in their publishing business yet. The big one, people's objection is, most of my books don't sell very well. So like, I don't want to keep on investing into books that don't sell very well by turning them into audiobooks and just losing money. But the big thing is, just because a book doesn't sell well on Amazon as an ebook and a print book is, for the most part, irrelevant to the fact of whether it will sell well as an audiobook on Audible or not. Because when you sell audiobooks, all the sales are coming from Audible. It's unrelated to Amazon. It doesn't matter how many reviews your ebook or print book has. It doesn't matter if it's not ranking for keywords. It doesn't matter if people aren't buying it. Your audiobook goes on Audible. It's a completely different search engine where you can almost start from scratch. And the great thing about Audible is there's at way most 1/10 the competition. It's not 1/10. It's more like 1/50th. When you look at actual number of books on Audible, I believe there's a few 100,000 audiobooks on Audible, which might sound like a lot, but it's not a lot. When you consider the fact that on Amazon, there's millions upon millions upon millions of ebooks and print books. So just because your book doesn't sell well on Amazon as an ebook or print book does not mean it does not mean it cannot sell really well on Audible as an audiobook. I will say this, if like the books you have published on Amazon are trash and horrible and just really bad, then Audible won't save it, obviously, because the foundations are broken. You have bad cover, bad title, a bad topic, publishing on Audible won't fix that. But if you have solid books that just aren't selling for whatever other smaller reasons, then they can potentially do really well as an audiobook on Audible. Here's my favorite example. One of our buddies, his name is Emeka. He had this book on programming, and on Amazon, this book would consistently make $50 to $100 a month in royalties, which is fine. Is nothing great, but it's $50 to $100 extra per month. And he didn't put it onto Audible as an audiobook for a long time because he figured that, people wouldn't listen to this kind of book on Audible. But he finally did it, just listened to us, and now that audiobook makes him consistently, maybe things have changed now, but when I last talked to him about it, consistently over $1,000 a month in audiobook royalties. So $50 a month, and then now does $1,000 a month just as the audiobook. Okay, so you can't really compare them. That's really what I want to say. Don't sit on your books and stop turning them to audiobooks just because they aren't selling well. Okay, I'm beating a dead horse here, so let's continue. What I've done now is I want to go through, 5-step process or so to best and most effectively turn your books into audiobooks and start making as much money as possible with them in a 5-step process. And then I have like a bonus step at the end. So if you have books you're sitting on that are not audiobooks, you have to do this right here. Every single book you have, with the exception to maybe like coloring books, maybe cookbooks, because people really don't listen to that as audiobooks. Those might be the only exceptions that you shouldn't turn into an audiobook. But I've had a number of cookbook audiobooks. They aren't my best sellers, but they still made over 100 lifetime sales, which is crazy. But let's get into it. I have my notes in front of me. 5-step process. The first one, really important, is to commit to this audiobook stuff. I want this video to really be the one that triggers you to do something about this, to make more money from your current books. Because the great thing is you don't need to make any new content. You don't need to do much of anything. You just have to turn it into an audiobook and a few things, and those are the things we're about to cover. First thing is commit to this. Commit to leveraging audiobooks more in your publishing business. Okay. And then my note says here, because so many people are sitting on an extra $3,000 to $5,000 a month income that they don't even know about, simply because they haven't turned their shit into audiobooks. Sorry, their books into audiobooks. I have a potty mouth sometimes. I'm sorry. Step number 2 is first, just get your book narrated. And I'll hop into my computer here real quick and I'll show you how to do that. This is not going to be like a tutorial about how to do all these things. I'm just going to provide an overview of everything. So just go to acx.com, which is the platform that you use to turn your books into audiobooks and publish them on Audible. acx.com, search producers for hire, boom. 148,000 samples to listen to. There are thousands upon thousands of narrators here that you can choose from. Then you just want to listen to samples. I click this button, it'll play a sample, but I won't do that. Lee Rush, she has her samples here. I would listen to a few. Once I find someone that I like, and don't get too caught up in like who's a good narrator and who isn't. If you like the way they sound, and then that's going to be enough. You know, just choose someone who you like to listen to yourself. That's the simplest way to choose a narrator. Okay, so you go to ACX, pick a narrator, and right here, when you click on their name, there's going to be a send message button right here, but I'm not logged in, so it's not popping up. You just send them a message and ask if they'd be interested in narrating your book. And then, of course, look at their prices. Here, it doesn't say what Lee Rush's price is, but, 50 to 100 words per finished hour is a good ballpark range, because then it'll cost like $100 to $300 to get your audiobook narrated. And you could get it narrated for much less than that. Not much less, $100 or less, which is crazy cheap. Okay, so that's the first thing. Get it narrated. And you want to aim to have your audiobook 3 hours long or more, because ACX prices your audiobook based on how long it actually is. So I'll put it up on screen, the audiobook pricing chart. So if it's between 0 and 1 hour, it's priced at $4.95. Yes, if it's between 1 and 3 hours, no, I'm getting that wrong. You can see it right here. Okay. Once you price it at 3 hours, it gets priced at $14.95. You make a lot more money per sale for a $15 audiobook than a $6.95 audiobook, which is what it'll be priced at if it's 2 hours or 2.5 or 2 hours, 59 minutes. Once you hit that 3 hour mark, boom, it goes into the next pricing tier. So make sure to do that. Now, if your book just isn't long enough to hit 3 hours, then it just isn't long enough. But a 3 hour audiobook is going to be about 28 to 30,000 words long. That's what's going to make a 3 hour audiobook. And even better than a 3 hour audiobook would be a 5 hour audiobook. And even better than a 5 hour audiobook would be a 10 hour audiobook, because they're priced higher and they seem to sell really well, these longer audiobooks. I don't know if Audible promotes them a bit more. I'm not sure what the case is exactly, but longer audiobooks you make more money with. Okay, so that's step number 2 out of 5. Step number 3 is to have your cover redesigned for ACX. And I'll be quick on this, but I'll put an example on the screen of here's a ebook cover, and then here's a ACX cover that was not redesigned properly. You can see an audiobook cover is a square. All they did was they squished it, and then it looks horrible. Do not do this. If you just plug in your regular ebook cover into ACX, it's going to look like that. Don't want that. What you do want to do is like this: ebook cover, audiobook cover. You can see it's the same cover for the most part. It just isn't squished. It's just slightly reformatted. You can get anyone on Fiverr to do this for you for $5. Okay, this is important. Having a cover that actually looks professional is going to make a big difference. Okay, we're 3 out of 5 steps of the way there. Step number 4 is about the title. Title is insanely important on Audible. And it really just has to do with Audible SEO and ranking your book for keywords. So what you really want to do is you want to get keywords in your title. but not necessarily the same keywords that you were targeting on Amazon, but the keywords that you want to target on Audible. And I'll hop into my screen here and show you what I'm talking about. Because Amazon and Audible keywords are different. People are searching different terms. So let's say your book, let's use this right here, social media marketing. Let's say you have a book about social media marketing. Then you want to search social media marketing. These auto suggestions right here are the kinds of keywords that you want in the title of your audiobook, because Audible's search engine is a little bit different. It works super cut and dry. So if you have the keywords in your title, you will, without a shadow of a doubt, show up for that keyword when someone searches it. But if you do not have that exact keyword typed out exactly as is searched, your audiobook will not show up, no matter what. This is different from Amazon, where it's not so cut and dry. But Audible is cut and dry, and when you know this, you can use it to your advantage and get seen by just having the right keywords in there. And the keywords that you want, like I was saying, are these auto suggestions. So when you search social media marketing, Audible is giving you the terms that are most searched on Audible. So social media marketing 2021 is what people are searching the most in regards to social media marketing. And then for business, algorithms 2020, these things. So you want these in your title. So let me show you. Here, everything that's showing up here, all 17 results, will have 2021 in their title. 2021, 2021, 2021, 2021, 2021, 2021. You can see 2021 is in the title for all of these. There's not one that doesn't have it. And that's just because that's how the Audible search engine works. However, social media marketing 2021 is being searched a ton, but there's only 17 search results. That's half a page, not even a full page of search results. Yet it's being searched a ton, and you can show up just by having 2021 in there. Okay, so that's really important with the title. Now, you've probably already titled your books. However, when you move it to Audible, you can change the title of it. And you can change the title by emailing Audible, okay? Because when you move your book from KDP to ACX, actually, I'm not going to get into this, but you go into ACX, you claim it, it gets imported into your ACX account, and then you can't change the title. What you want to do is email Audible, ask them, hey, can you change the title to this? And they will change it. And this is going to be a difference maker of thousands and thousands of dollars, okay? So I'll repeat it again. Get the keywords that are showing up in Audible's auto suggestions into your title, and you'll get seen a ton, and it's going to make a gigantic difference. Okay. Let me go back into my notes. That's step 1 out of 4. I know I'm not going super deep into each one of these, but I want to cover this without being a 30-minute long video. The last one, arguably the most important one, is to simply get Audible reviews for your audiobook. Listen, if you have an audiobook on a topic that is being bought on Audible, as long as there's search demand for it, you're good. And then have a solid cover, have a good title that has the Audible auto-suggested keywords in the title, and then have Audible reviews on your audiobook, you can't not have a really good passive income source. You can't not have an audiobook that doesn't do at least reasonably well. The things I've mentioned, that really is what it goes into it. The last thing, the piece that most people are missing, because it is the hardest part, is getting the Audible reviews. Do not just put it over there and just expect it to do well. But get the Audible reviews. These are different from Amazon reviews, and I'll explain that shortly. Get the reviews, and then your book will probably take off and do quite well. So this should probably be your biggest focus. If there's any biggest takeaway from this, other than doing this, it is focusing on Audible reviews, okay? Now, what I like about Audible reviews is it's actually easier to get Audible reviews than it is to get Amazon reviews on your ebook and print book. And the reason being, on Amazon, there's a ton of rules for things you can't do to get reviews on your book, such as you can't use family and friends, you can't do review swaps, and you can't give things in exchange for a review. There's a bunch of rules. But on ACX, those rules don't exist. You can give your audiobook to your friends and family and say, hey mom, hey friend, hey brother, hey little sister, can you leave a review on my audiobook? And then, have them listen to it and leave an honest review. I'm not saying don't do honest reviews. Do 100% honest reviews, okay? But you can have friends and family leave a few honest Audible reviews for you to get started. So friends and family is the first thing you want to leverage while getting started. And you can do review swaps with other publishers. We have a Facebook group within our community where people can do ethical review swaps for their audiobooks. They listen to each other's books and they leave reviews on each other's audiobooks, and it's completely allowed on Audible and ACX. Okay, so those are some really low-hanging fruit ways to, that makes sense, to get reviews on your audiobooks. These are methods that you should use if you don't have an email list or a Facebook group. Because if you have an email list or a Facebook group of 1,000+ people, this solves all your problems. All you do is you send them an email and say, hey, here's my new audiobook. You can have it for free with this ACX code. That's the thing I haven't even talked about yet. There are ACX codes, which are practically review codes. These are codes that you can give to people so they can get your audiobook for free in exchange for a review. So getting reviews is so much easier than on Amazon. Okay, so send that out to your list, give them the codes, free audiobook, and then they can leave a review within 7 days or whenever they finish listening to it. So you can distribute that within your email list and within your Facebook group. And this is exactly why we have such a big focus on building an email list and a Facebook group, so that we don't have to always hustle for reviews by asking friends and family, by doing review swaps with other publishers and things like that. You can just have a group of people who will instantly do it for you, so you never have to waste time trying to get reviews. And then the last thing you could do, once you've exhausted those methods, is, let me try that again. This one's the biggest pain in the ass, but it's just hustling in Facebook groups, giving out your review codes in exchange for a review. So this is more grunt work. It just takes time. It just takes dedication. It just takes commitment. Go into Facebook groups. Man, I could go deep into the best way to approach this, but utilizing Facebook groups to get Audible reviews is also a really good extra strategy. And last thing I want to say is ACX gives you 25 or 50 or 100. It used to be 100 ACX codes. I think it's still 50. So you get 50 of these codes. You want to try and get 50 reviews with these 50 codes. When you've done that, your book is going to rise the Audible search rankings, and it's going to have good reviews, and then it's going to sell. It's really that simple. This shit just works, okay? And the last thing, that was step number 5 out of 5. Bonus is to create bundles. Take your audiobooks, take 2 audiobooks, boom, put it into one. Now you have another bundle. Or now you have another audiobook that you could sell, get reviews on, another income stream. Take 2 other ones, put them together. Now you have a bundle there. Take 3 other ones, put them together. Now you have another audiobook. So bundles are an amazing way to expand your catalog and have more income streams. And you want to treat them the exact same way. Good cover, good title, get reviews on them. And oftentimes bundles are going to be your highest earning audiobooks because they're longer, they get priced more, and a lot of Audible shoppers just opt for bundles because it's like more value, 2 for the price of 1 kind of thing. So bundles are amazing. And okay, I feel like I covered a lot of ground in this video, talked about a lot in as short a period of time as I could, but this is what you want to do to increase your income with the books you already have. Anything else? If you watch this video to the end, drop the money bag emoji down below, because when you follow this stuff, that's what you'll be making, a lot extra money. Comment if you are one of those people who's guilty of not turning your books into audiobooks and leveraging this stuff, because it's just free money, practically. Put in a little bit of time to get the reviews, pay for a narrator, which isn't going to cost more than like $150 for a good narrator, seriously. And then turn into bundles, and you're going to be making a lot more money. So I really hope this video makes a big difference for just a few people who decide to commit to it, which was step number 1. Okay, that's everything. Hope you enjoyed the video. New videos coming out. Okay, bye. Wait, no. Also, first link in the description. Free training, webinar, learn more about audiobooks. And we're going to pitch you our program at the end. If you don't like that, don't register. Okay, if you don't like that. But even if you don't join, you're going to learn a lot in the first 90 minutes just from the free training aspect of it. Okay, that's it. See you in the next video.